Travelers arriving at Pearson International Airport will now have to take a COVID-19 test, and the province is funding the new screening measure. Nicole Martin was there as the first group of travelers sat down for a test. She joins us live from Pearson with more. Nicole.
Good evening, Taz. What we're looking at right now is quite the lineup of travelers waiting to get into that testing area here in Terminal 1. It's quite busy this evening as flights from Dubai, Doha, London, and Florida have arrived within the last hour or two. Once they go through several checkpoints, they actually go back to the testing area, which is beyond this currency exchange. Once they prove they had taken that test, they come out through that restricted zone just there behind me. We had a chance to speak to some travelers today. They say the process was actually quite simple, but they don't know why this wasn't implemented earlier in the pandemic. It took no more than 30 seconds and the test was complete.
How was it? How was your experience?
It was very good. It was easy. You don't feel anything, just tickling in the nose here, but it's fine.
After a flight from Sweden, this man and his wife said they were pleased with the new measures at Pearson Airport.
Very good idea, actually. Make sure you're not sick and you don't give it to anybody else.
After multiple checks inside the testing center, travelers are free to leave the airport.
So well organized. Yeah, everything was super easy to understand, and they guided us through everything.
But now they head into a 14-day quarantine after being told they should know their test results within 3 days.
Yeah, but at home, not in a hotel.
I'm in transit to Ottawa. I have no idea what's waiting for me there other than 14 days of self-isolation.
But how many travelers are actually arriving at Pearson? According to that board, not that many. Only 15 flights between the hours of 2:30 this afternoon and 9 at night, but usually that board is filled. But those who are arriving today say it's odd this level of testing wasn't implemented at the start of the pandemic.
It should have happened sooner. We should have been doing testing.
I think it was definitely needed. Maybe a while ago would have been better, but yeah, really glad it's finally happening.
On top of the new rules, the federal government's regulations are still in play, which means these travelers were also tested 72 hours prior to boarding their flights to Canada.
It's a little redundant, given that I had to have a test less than 72 hours ago.
But it's nice that they make us take it beforehand as well. So the 72-hour time frame is nice to make sure that you don't have it prior to that. And then here it just kind of covers that airport travel in between.
And for travelers who refuse the test at Pearson, Peel Police are standing by to issue tickets up to $750. At this time, we've learned that no tickets have been issued so far today. There has been compliance so far with this mandatory testing here at Pearson. We also know that these travelers will be allowed to go home tonight to quarantine as long as they take that test, which again, they should get the result in 3 days. But we're still waiting to hear from the federal government on when the mandatory hotel quarantine period of 3 days will come into effect at a cost of about $2,000 at the expense of the traveler. Back to you, Phil.